Welcome back to the shop. My name is Eric and I like to fix things, and today we're going to talk about chainsaws. We're not going to talk about great big chainsaws for felling big trees. We're going to talk about something a little different. I haven't been able to find too many YouTube videos about this. We're going to talk about beginner chainsaws. The chainsaw that you buy, the first chainsaw that you buy when you need one. I've had a chainsaw for about 35 years now, and I'm going to start with a story. About 35 years ago, my wife and I got married, and we bought our first house, and we moved into the house in around Thanksgiving. And the next spring, it was a beautiful house. It had two big pin oak trees in the front yard that offered a lot of shade, and in the back it had about 5 or 6 large shade trees and a big fenced yard and everything. And in the springtime, the storms came in and blew down one of the big shade trees in the back, and it fell right on the deck and messed up the deck. And it also knocked down our privacy fence in the back. And we were newlyweds, didn't have a lot of money, and we didn't have a lot of money to get those trees taken out. I also noticed when I started mowing the grass that the pin oak trees had branches way down. I had actually sawn them with a camp saw. I sawed the pin oak branches down, but they still there was a lot of branches that needed to be trimmed up. So I needed a chainsaw. So I went over to the box store, which at that time was one called Builder Square. And they had a little chainsaw called a McCulloch Eager Beaver. And it was about the size of this little chainsaw here. I think it had about 25 cc's, just like this saw does. And it was a rebuilt or return or something like that. And it was on sale for $84. I bought that chainsaw. We couldn't afford to hire somebody to come in and clean up the tree. The tree that fell down, I think we hired somebody, or we got a quote from somebody, a tree service, and they wanted $1,500. And $1,500 could have been $1 million for all we had. We didn't have any money at all at the time. So I bought my $84 chainsaw, and fortunately what happened was I got a bonus from work for $400 or $500, and I actually bought some tools to fix the deck and buy the chainsaw, and we did that at that time. So we're going to talk about your first chainsaw and what you should buy. Typically these days, what you're going to buy is maybe something like this one, which is a small, cheap gas chainsaw. This is a 25 cc Neotech chainsaw. I've never actually sawn any wood with this chainsaw. I bought it a couple weeks ago for this video. It costs $111 on Amazon. I have started it. It starts right up, and I see a lot of videos online that say these are good chainsaws. It's got a 12-inch bar. It's a 2-stroke motor. All chainsaw gas engines are 2-stroke motors. You put bar oil in here. You put mixed gas and oil at, it says 25 to 1. I use 40 to 1 synthetic 2-stroke oil. And you start it here with a starter. There's a specific starting sequence. I'll go through that. That's a very cheap Chinese-made chainsaw. They supposedly work really good. What we're going to do after I finish this inside part of the video, I'm going to take them outside and run them and show you what they'll do. This chainsaw, you might these days, back 35 years ago, this wasn't an option, but today there is an option for a battery-powered chainsaw, and this chainsaw I've had for about 7 years. This is a Makita XCU03. It uses 2 of my Makita 18-volt 5-amp-hour batteries, so it is a 18 plus 18, 36-volt chainsaw. It's got a 14-inch bar and chain on it. This chainsaw will cut anything that either of these 3 chainsaws will cut. It's a good chainsaw, and the great thing about a battery-powered chainsaw, this one doesn't use any tools. It has a toolless chain tightening and toolless bar tightening. You push the button, and it starts. There's no gas to put in the chainsaw. You do have to put in bar oil. It does have a bar oiler right there. There's no gas to put in. There's no mixing gas and air. There's no air filter. There's no spark plugs. There's no carburetor to worry about. You put 2 batteries in, and you push the button, and it goes. And it's fairly quiet. And it's fairly powerful. I would say this chainsaw is probably as powerful as this. This is supposedly a 1.2 horsepower chainsaw. The third chainsaw that I might recommend, and by the way, I don't care about your chainsaw brands. If you want to buy an electric chainsaw, you can buy a Makita, you can buy a DeWalt, you can buy a Milwaukee. Stihl makes battery-powered chainsaws. Husqvarna makes battery-powered chainsaws. Many companies make battery-powered chainsaws. Ego makes them. They're all good. The reason I bought this one is because I have the Makita batteries and I wanted to use my batteries. I don't like tools that use individual batteries for one tool. Okay, so the third chainsaw I have here that's a beginner chainsaw is a Husqvarna 120 Mark III. This is a 38cc, 1.8 horsepower chainsaw. It's a very decent starter chainsaw. It's 1.8 horsepower compared to 1.2, 38 cc's. It's got a 14-inch bar, same as this Makita. It will cut probably a little more than the Makita, but it's a fairly docile gas-powered chainsaw. You do have to mix your gas. I mix 40-to-1 synthetic gas and oil, and you do have to pull start it. These start real easy. This chainsaw I have used, and it's fairly new, but I have used it a little bit, and it works really nicely. This chainsaw is available on Amazon right now for about $220, I think, as of the time of this filming. So nice option. I love a gas chainsaw. So why would you buy this chainsaw over these two chainsaws, or this chainsaw over these two, or this one over these two? I'll tell you why. Number one, if you just have one job to do and you need something that works and is cheap and gets the job done, you could buy one of these, and these actually do work. This machine starts and runs. I wouldn't say this machine is going to be around 10 or 15 years from now. The parts availability on these Chinese chainsaws is probably going to be suspect 10 or 15 years from now. It might be. It might run that long. But these are generally cheap chainsaws that last a few years and work okay. As opposed to a gas chainsaw like a Husqvarna. Husqvarna has been in business for a long time. They're one of the biggest chainsaw makers in the world. This chainsaw might be here 20, 30 years from now. You might still be using this chainsaw. It will last a long time. So for twice the money, you get a more powerful chainsaw, a more capable chainsaw, but you also get one that has parts availability going forward and is a pretty good chainsaw. Now, why would you buy a battery chainsaw over one of these chainsaws? Well, I already said it. Easy to use, easy to start, no gas to mix, no carburetor to mess with, no air filter to mess with, no spark plug to mess with. Just start it up and run it. Why would you not buy the battery-powered chainsaw? Number one is the battery life. These batteries right here will run this chainsaw for 20 to 30 minutes, okay? In 20, 30 minutes, you're done cutting. Now, that's 20, 30 minutes of cutting because you don't run it when you're not using it. But if you got to go out for 2, 3 hours or 4 hours cutting wood, you're going to want one of these. You take a gallon of gas and you can run this thing all day long, or even this one. You can run them all day long. This thing, 20, 30 minutes, you got to come back in and charge your batteries for 45 minutes. Now, I actually have 3 or 4 sets of these batteries, so I can take them out and I can run this thing for about an hour, but I can't run it for more than about an hour, and then I have to come and charge my batteries. The other disadvantage to the battery-powered chainsaws is they're expensive. This chainsaw cost probably $450 with the battery pack. I didn't buy it with the battery pack. I think it was $350 without the batteries. Whereas this one cost $220 and this one cost $111. So if you need to do it cheap, you're going to go with one of these. I still think because of the batteries, they're not going to last as long as a gas chainsaw. Now you could buy a Stihl chainsaw, you can buy an Echo chainsaw. There are different brands of chainsaw. I'm not a chainsaw brand person, although you'll see me having a lot of Husqvarna chainsaws and a couple of Makita chainsaws. I like Stihl chainsaws, I like Echo chainsaws. I just happen to have Husqvarna. They work fine. Okay, that's your beginner chainsaws. We're going to go out and cut some wood in a few minutes with these, but I'm going to put these aside and I'm going to say, let's say you're a homeowner and you have more than just a few branches laying down. These are great for if you got to cut a small tree, 8-inch diameter tree. If you got branches, if you had a storm go through and you had some branches laying in your yard, you need to cut them down. If you got some limbs that you need to limb out, I really like the electric one for cutting branches that need to be cut, just trimming stuff. The other thing I really like the electric one for is I'll go rent a chipper. I have about a 3/4 acre lot here, and about a third of it is woods. And you get a lot of branches and things like that. So I'll stack them all up and I'll go rent a chipper once a year from the Home Depot. And when you're running a chipper, sometimes the stuff doesn't fit in the chipper and you need to make a quick cut. Rather than pick a gas chainsaw up and go to start it, when you start it, you cut, put it back down. You can do that for a couple hours, just a few seconds to make a cut. You can do that all day long with this chainsaw on one set of batteries. But if you have a little more land than I have, and I actually have a little bit of land elsewhere, if you have a little bit of land, a little more land, or a little more woods, if you have up to an acre of land, you might want a chainsaw that's the next step up. And so what is the next step up? It's still a consumer grade chainsaw, but what is the next step up? So I'm going to put these aside. I'm going to show you now the next step up in chainsaws. These all are Husqvarna chainsaws. Like I said, you could buy a steel. There's a steel model that's right between these two that I love. I don't have one. I wish I did. These two chainsaws are pretty similar. This is a Husqvarna 435 chainsaw, and this is a Husqvarna 440 chainsaw. They actually have the same size engine. This one is a 41cc 2.2 horsepower, so the smaller Husqvarna was a 1.8 horsepower. This is a 2.2. This is a same 41cc, but this is a 2.4 horsepower chainsaw. This is my favorite chainsaw of all time. I actually had a 340, which is the earlier version of this, for 25 years. After I bought the Eager Beaver, I bought one of these. I had it for 25 years. It came up missing one day. I think a landscaper borrowed it from me. And never brought it back. And it was a great chainsaw. And I replaced it with this one a few years ago. You can see it's been used quite a bit. This chainsaw I bought, I saw it on Black Friday for $250, brand new. But these are normally $379. So you go from a $220 chainsaw to a $379 chainsaw. You'll find that these chainsaws are a little bit more powerful. This one has a 16-inch bar instead of 14-inch bar. They run a little bit more, I guess, aggressively. The 4 Series Husqvarna chainsaws have a little bit better features than the 120. They got different controls on them. They're a little easier to start. They're a little easier to work on. They have a little better vibration protection. This 440 is my favorite saw of all time. I could use this thing all day. It's not very heavy. It's got a 16-inch bar. You can put an 18-inch bar on this chainsaw, and it's a really nice chainsaw. So kind of the top-level chainsaw, one of the top-level chainsaws that you might use if you're a homeowner is this. This is a Husqvarna 450. This is a 50cc. These were 41cc chainsaws, 41cc 2.2 horsepower, 2.4 horsepower. This is a 50cc 3.2 horsepower chainsaw. You can see that it's got a 20-inch bar on it, much longer bar. Maybe you can't see that from there. It's a much longer bar. It's a little heavier saw, but not a lot. And same vibration protection, same controls. Starts right up, runs good. If you got to cut, an 18, a 22-inch diameter tree, another story. I had a few years after we bought the first house, we bought our second house, and we actually built our second house, and it was in the woods. And that's where I collected chainsaws. I got the 340. I got a 20-inch chainsaw at that time. It was full of woods. And the same thing happened a couple months after we moved in. We moved in the winter, and a couple months later, a storm came through and blew down 32 trees, including took the branches off of a big, probably 24-inch diameter tree. And I went and rented a 20-inch chainsaw, about like this. And I used that 340. That's when I bought the 340 chainsaw. I used it like crazy. It took me a couple months to clean up all that damage, that storm damage, all the trees that blew down. We actually had one that hit the front of our house, and the branches, when I opened the front door, the branches came flying in. So I had to cut it right away. I think I used my little Eager Beaver chainsaw to do that. But we got by. We got through the storm damage there, and I've had more chainsaws ever since. So I really like this 440. I like the 435. This is kind of the right size, the right weight to use all day long. And this 450 is probably a little more than most homeowners would want. But this is not a professional saw. They make, heavier duty and faster chainsaws. If you want to see big chainsaws and people that know how to use them, there's a guy on YouTube named Buck and Billy Ray. He cuts big trees down, and he's really good at it. He's forgotten more than I ever knew. So he's got a great YouTube channel, and you can watch him use big chainsaws. These are, he would call these small chainsaws, little bitty chainsaws, but these are great for homeowner use. These Husqvarna chainsaws start right up, run good. I've never actually cut wood with this one, same as that Neotech. I've never cut wood with it, but I have started it. It starts up and runs good. Cut wood with these. Obviously, I've cut a lot of wood with this one. We'll take them out and run them. Thanks. All right, so my neighbors are out running leaf blowers right now, so I'm probably not going to get very good video quality, audio quality anyway, right now from my video. So I'm going to start these chainsaws. I haven't started them from scratch. I haven't started any of these chainsaws in the last 2 weeks. So first we're going to try this Neotech. We're going to start it up and let it run, let it idle. So the first thing you do when you start a chainsaw, two-stroke chainsaw, is you pull the choke. That one's got a choke right there. And then you pull on the thing. Actually, you push the primer bulb about 6 times until you can feel the gas running through the carburetor. Right there, I feel the gas running through the carburetor. So you push the primer bulb, pull the choke, and then you pull on it until it pops, until it wants to start. And then you put the choke off. So I'm going to pull on it. There it goes. It started. I'm going to push the choke down. And I'll pull it one more time and it should run. We'll let it run. We'll let it warm up a bit. Now, of course, the electric chainsaw, push the button, and it runs, okay? No problem there. The other gas one is the Husqvarna 120. Push the bulb until the gas runs. This one has a little different choke. Pull the choke out. There it goes. Push the choke in. Oh, wait a minute. Pull it up. Starts right up. We're going to go run this Neotech to see what it does. So just spent a couple minutes out running the Neotech. Great little chainsaw. I really liked it. It ran good, great, cut good, right out of the box. Started up, ran good, cut good. Nice chainsaw. Let's go run the Husqvarna. Might be warmed up. I'll just see if it'll start. A little quieter than the Neotech. So I just got done running the Husqvarna 120 Mark III. Got some burrs on me. Working down in a valley of a bunch of trees. This chainsaw is much better than the Neotech. Much more power, much quieter, much smoother running. Works good. Much better chainsaw than Neotech, but the Neotech works good. Okay. I'm going to go down and run the Makita here for a minute. Okay, we're going to cut a couple of these limbs up with the Makita. Nice. Okay, so 10 minutes of cutting. Makita chainsaw cuts really good. It cuts about like the Husqvarna. Really nice power. Just cuts real quick. Hopefully you got to see a little bit of it. Anyway, that's the 3 beginner chainsaws. Hi folks, Eric here. I'm going to do a little wrap up on the chainsaw video because I don't know how much I got outside because there was a lot of noise. So here's my 6 chainsaws. I ran 5 of them. I didn't run the big one today, but let me tell you what I think. If you are wanting a homeowner chainsaw, a first-time buyer, this little Neotech, it started right up. It started on the second pole. It ran good. It started running. It was a beast. I think it's better than my old McCulloch from the 80s, but definitely better than that one. And it ran good. I cut about a 6-inch log with it, and it bogged down a little bit, but it cut it, and you can cut 6-8-inch stuff with this chainsaw just fine. It's a little slower, but it works good. It runs good. Not a lot of power, but it runs good. The Husqvarna, of the three, I'm not afraid of gas chainsaws. This Husqvarna 120 Mark III, definitely more powerful than the other two beginner chainsaws. It runs good, works good. Not very, really good anti-vibration. This one didn't have very good anti-vibration on it. This one has good anti-vibration. Runs good. It's quiet. A lot of power for the size. I would recommend one of these. I'm not afraid of gas chainsaws at all, so obviously. If you want an electric chainsaw, this thing cuts almost as good as that. About the same. And it's quiet. It's easy to use. Just push the button, start it, and it goes. And it'll cut everything that chainsaw will cut. Maybe a little slower. That's got a little more power than this, but not a lot. Not a lot different. They cut about the same. So if you want to spend the money on a battery-powered chainsaw, I would recommend them. These days, they're really good. I know Husqvarna makes a great one. Steel makes a great one. There's several other brands. You know, you can buy them that fit with your Milwaukee batteries, your DeWalt batteries. These are obviously my Makita batteries, so that's what I would recommend. But if you want a standalone battery pack, you know, some of those are really good. That's it. Hope you had a good, got some information, got some good information, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so 10 minutes of cutting. Makita chainsaw cuts really good. It cuts about like the Husqvarna. Really nice power. Just cuts real quick. Hopefully you got to see a little bit of it. Anyway, that's the 3 beginner chainsaws. I'll get the bigger ones out probably tomorrow or the next day. But if I were going to pick one, if I needed absolute dirt cheap, Neotech works. It cuts wood. It's not bad. If I need something a little more power, Husqvarna works. If I like battery power, it's a little quieter, a little less vibration, a little easier to work, not much muss or fuss. Makita works great too. So that's my take. Thanks for watching. Hi folks, Eric here. I'm going to do a little wrap up on the chainsaw video because I don't know how much I got outside because there was a lot of noise. So here's my 6 chainsaws. I ran 5 of them. I didn't run the big one today, but let me tell you what I think. If you are wanting a homeowner chainsaw, a first-time buyer, this little Neotech, it started right up. It started on the 2nd pole. It ran good. It started running. It was a beast. I think it's better than my old McCulloch from the 80s, but definitely better than that one. And it ran good. I cut about a 6-inch log with it, and it bogged down a little bit, but it cut it, and you can cut 6-8-inch stuff with this chainsaw just fine. It's a little slower, but it works good. It runs good. Not a lot of power, but it runs good. The Husqvarna, of the 3, I'm not afraid of gas chainsaws. This Husqvarna 120 Mark III, definitely more powerful than the other 2 beginner chainsaws. It runs good, works good, really good anti-vibration. This one didn't have very good anti-vibration on it. This one has good anti-vibration, runs good. It's quiet, a lot of power for the size. I would recommend one of these. I'm not afraid of gas chainsaws at all, so obviously. If you want an electric chainsaw, this thing cuts almost as good as that, about the same, and it's quiet. It's easy to use. Just push the button, start it, and it goes, and it'll cut everything that chainsaw will cut. Maybe a little slower. That's got a little more power than this, but not a lot different. They cut about the same. So if you want to spend the money on a battery-powered chainsaw, I would recommend them. These days, they're really good. I know Husqvarna makes a great one. Steel makes a great one. There's several other brands. You can buy them that fit with your Milwaukee batteries, your DeWalt batteries. These are obviously my Makita batteries, so that's what I would recommend. But if you want a standalone battery pack, some of those are really good. That's it. Hope you had a good, got some good information, and thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.